In the offseason in between 2022 and 2023, Ernie Clement was DFA'd by the then Oakland Athletics. But fast forward to 2025, and Clement is now destroying Athletics pitching, but now as a member of the Toronto Blue Jays. This is the story of how Ernie Clement got his revenge on a team that DFA'd him and didn't think he was good enough to play in the big leagues. At the time, it seemed like a reasonable decision for the Athletics to make. They needed a 40-man roster spot for their new signing, Aledmys Diaz, and the A's were unimpressed by Clement, who appeared in just 6 games for them at the very end of September. In his 6 games as an Athletic, Ernie didn't give the A's much reason to believe in what he could do. He picked up just 1 hit in 18 at-bats, and despite being known for his slick defense, was worth negative 0.4 F-WAR. And his options to play in MLB heading into 2023 reflected that. Spring training was well underway, and Clement was still without a team when the Toronto Blue Jays signed him to a minor league contract with an invite to spring training. He didn't make the team out of spring training, and he spent most of the season at AAA Buffalo. But even in the limited game action he saw with the Blue Jays, he was used mostly as a pinch runner or defensive replacement. He got just 52 plate appearances in 29 games at the big league level for the Blue Jays, but when he had his opportunities, he produced. In 2023, Clement managed to show off his high contact ability, swinging and missing just 10.1% of the time, en route to a .380 batting average and an .885 OPS. The sample size was small, but when taking into account his impressive infield defense at second, third, and shortstop, Clement had given the Blue Jays some proof of concept that he might be able to be a valuable big league player.
Involved as this ball's pulled to deep left and it hits the foul pole. Ernie Clement with his first homer of the year just tied it up. Journeyman middle infielder filling in right now for Bo Bichette, and he just hit a big homer.
Heading into 2024 with new confidence and having found a home in Toronto, Clement made the opening day roster and broke camp with the big league team. 2024 was Clement's first season spent entirely on a big league roster, without being optioned to the minor leagues. But in a disappointing season for the Blue Jays as a team, Clement left a little bit to be desired with the bat, ending the season with just a 94 weighted runs created plus. It wasn't all bad though, as he continued to show off elite infield defense at multiple positions and was a finalist to win the Gold Glove at third base in the American League.
He never gave up on it. He gloved it, thought he had it. It popped out of his glove, and he stayed with it to make the catch. And he was prepared to bend over and pick it up off the ground, because once he had it in his glove, it's going to pop out of his glove. And he's running away from the bag, and he flips it in the air a second time, and he catches it for good the second time. I got it now.
Now, in 2025, the Blue Jays have once again set their sights on competing and making the playoffs, and Clement is playing a big role, especially with his defense. From the start of the season through May 28th, Clement was the 4th most valuable Blue Jay by F-WAR at 0.9, but his offensive output had been very disappointing. He was hitting just .245 with 1 home run, and his weighted runs created plus, a stat where 100 is always league average, was at a very poor 72. But when his former team, the team that DFA'd him over 2.5 years ago, the Athletics, came to Toronto for a 4-game series on May 29th, something changed for Clement.
It is gone! First pitch swinging, Ernie Clement launches a 3-run homer.
And look at Ernie, he's got a little home run trot between second and third. What a moment for him. It is 3-0 Blue Jays.
He went off with the bat in Game 1 of the 4-game series, going 3 for 5 with a double, a home run, and 5 runs batted in. He became the first Blue Jay since Edwin Encarnacion to have 5 RBI in a single inning, and was the highlight of a 12-0 Blue Jays win. Clement kept his foot on the gas in Game 2 of the series, this time going 4 for 5, adding another double and another home run, this time in an 11-7 win for the Blue Jays.
Takes that slider up in the strike zone, waits back on it, and absolutely drilled it out to left field.
He's starting to get used to that jacket. 3rd home run of the season for Ernie Clement.
Games 3 and 4 of the series were just as fun for Ernie, as he put up identical 2 for 4 with a double stat lines in both games, and the Blue Jays swept the Athletics.
And his 9th of the series.
In total, the 4-game stretch from the Earn Dog against his former team produced some eye-popping numbers. He went 11 for 18 with 6 extra base hits, including 2 home runs, while scoring 5 runs and cashing 6 RBI. For those curious, that's a .611 batting average and a 1778 OPS. But the most impressive thing about Clement's series against the Athletics? He put up a total of 0.8 FWAR in just 4 games. If we wanted to have a little bit of fun with small sample sizes, we can span that out over 162 games and see that that's a 32.2 FWAR pace over a full season. So, for those keeping track, Clement as an Athletic in 2022 was 1 for 18 and a below replacement level player. But as a Blue Jay, playing against the Athletics in 2025, he was 11 for 18 with 2 home runs. The baseball analyst side of me will tell you that Ernie's hot series was made possible by one of the league's worst pitching staffs. That also happens to be made up of a whole bunch of left-handed pitchers, Clement's preferred diet. But the side of me that's still romantic about baseball is telling you that facing the A's meant a little bit more to Clement and that he made his former team pay for cutting him.